Hello and welcome to a new episode of Comics, Etc.
I'm Hawkeyeorhawkguy.
I'm Mr. Hueth.
And we're going to talk to you about comics.
Yes. We have to reiterate. We need to rev our engines. Hey. We need to reiterate who we are and what we do because we've been gone for a couple weeks, as many of you have noticed.
I'm sure you've been feeling the absence so heavily in your life. But don't worry, because we're back.
We are going to be covering a couple of things right before we get into this week's reviews about stuff that we really... I am having difficulty with R's right now. We're going to be doing some stuff we didn't review last couple weeks. Stuff that we really liked.
Yeah.
And we just want to share with you. What comic would you like to recommend from the last couple weeks?
Before we do that, just really quickly, I want to mention, because I mentioned to Mr. Hueth earlier today, some of you might have heard, recently there was some trouble with the creative team of Rat Queens. One of the artists got into some bad business and was arrested. And they've been looking for a new artist, and they finally announced one today. And I'm going to butcher his name, because I do not know how to pronounce it. It's down below. His name is down below.
We're going up or down?
It might be in one of these locations. Actually, I don't even know where I am relative to the screen, so it might even be right over my eyes. But it's something like something Sejic. I'm pretty sure I pronounced his last name correctly. So, something Sejic, who's currently doing Death Vigil, who's known for his work in various Top Cow comics, especially Aphrodite 9, I think is the one he's known for. His art is fantastic. We really couldn't be more excited. And a little bit of bad news still. It's not coming out until February is the next issue. I'm serious.
So, I've had very bad luck picking up Rat Queens. Like, every time I pick it up, I can't find the next issue. Or, I find out it's been delayed a couple months because they're on hiatus. Now, after all this, I'm like, okay, I can wait a little bit. February, man.
I know.
February.
I know.
I want Rat Queens!
I know. While he mourns, I'll talk about things that I enjoyed from last week. If I can find them. Okay, so these are the things I enjoyed from last week. Is that good?
Those are nice things.
ODY-C and CatWoman. ODY-C is a brand new series from Matt Fraction. I shouldn't have to say anymore. Matt Fraction is on it. He's amazing in everything he does. That's literally why people hire him, because they want things to be amazing. It's based on the Odyssey, which I shouldn't have to say, because it says Odyssey. Only everyone's gender swapped. Super cool. And then CatWoman. This is the second issue of the new creative team, Valentine and Brown. And they're still just killing it. Like, it's got this great... Gotham crime feel to it, very ground level. It feels like it could be like a TNT drama. It's got like a real good crime feel to it. It doesn't feel too reliant on the other Bat books. And I think it's finally giving Selena Kyle a role she deserves, as opposed to just being eye candy and spandex.
Just being Catwoman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how that is. I only have one that I really want to talk about, and that was Gotham by Midnight. This is a series that I saw coming out, and at first glance, I'm like, another Gotham series? Are you serious? Because we have Batman, Batman Eternal, Batgirl, Batman Dark Knight, Detective Comics, Arkham Manor, Gotham Academy, and now Gotham by Midnight. I love this.
It's so fantastic.
It's so good.
I can't even express.
The art is amazing. It looks like it's going to have an amazing, amazing direction. And I'm not that great on lore and all that. That's the Spectre, isn't it?
It's the Spectre! It's the Spectre! For no other reason than it's the Spectre. You should read this.
Yeah.
Because it's the Spectre.
But this series, if we had given it a week, I would have given this one actually a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But I think that pretty much covers it for all the stuff we want to talk about from the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, would you do the honors of sending us off?
Reviews.
Yay.
Yay. Hey fanbots, what's going on? Guy here, and excited to be getting back to these reviews because I've been reading all these comics and I've had to keep all of my thoughts to myself, and that's no fun. So I'm going to start spilling my thoughts onto you. Alright, but we're going to start with a completely new series because that's more exciting. So, I haven't told you guys, but recently, Humble Bundle had a super fantastic bundle of Valiant comics And I got a bunch of Valiant comics, and I started reading them, and I read some Archer and Armstrong and some Eternal Warrior. And the series are really fantastic. If you don't know anything about Valiant, they're one of the few other companies, aside from DC and Marvel, that actually has a shared universe. So all their characters interact, and it's really super awesome. And that has culminated into this new series, The Valiant. This is issue number 1. And it's being written by Jeff Lemire, and the art is done by a few different people in the series, or in the issue, but it's a merging of all of the franchises. So we've got people like the Geomancer, who first shows up in Archer and Armstrong. We've got Rai, I think his name is, Deadly Warrior. We've got the Eternal Warrior, and I believe someone else, the dude in the suit, Exo Manowar, is also in this. And again, I'm a new fan, but it's really cool seeing these characters who I'm like just becoming acquainted with working together. Like, it feels like a proper team book and a story that's being established, because as is mentioned in Archer and Armstrong, Gilad, the Eternal Warrior, Gilad, it doesn't matter. He's tasked with protecting Geomancers, which is who this lady is right here. And we find out at the beginning of this book that hasn't gone particularly according to plan across the millennia. He's more or less failed a bunch of times, and now he's wondering how he's going to be able to protect his new Geomancers. So he's seeking the assistance of these other heroes in the Valiant universe. And it seems like a pretty simple build-up, pretty simple reason for getting them all together. But when you see the actual event occurring, when you see the threat that he's keeping the Geomancer from, it has real weight to it, because this threat feels dangerous. And so it's going to be interesting to see them all fight this big bad guy, and I think, the writing is just sharp. The way the characters interact is great. I love Jeff Lemire. If you watched earlier this week, I did a trade Tuesday for Teen Titans Earth 1, which was also written by Jeff Lemire, and he just does character interaction really, really well. And if you do enjoy Valiant, or if you're looking for something new, there's enough backstory here where you can read it without necessarily reading other Valiant titles. Score-wise, I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I think the series is going to be great as a whole, and I always say if Jeff Lemire is working on it, you should check it out. So, The Valiant, 8.5 out of 10.
Hey, so for my first comic today, I'm going to be doing the random pick of the week, and mine is Justice League United. That's issue 7. It's right in the middle of some arc in which there's some character named like Ultra, and he's destroying the universe, or he's creating a universe, and someone's using him to create a universe or destroy a universe. I was very confused. I understand my own confusion. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to know what's going on. They introduced the Legion of Superheroes in this, though, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Honestly, I can't say that this issue made me want to read more. It kind of made me want to put it down and be like, well, okay, that was something. Wasn't terrible, though. The writing was good, well-paced. There was a couple funny moments, and only a few of them fell short. That's my only gripe against it, though. It was definitely great. I would give this a 6 out of 10, just because, like I said, it didn't make me want to really read more, but it also wasn't terrible. Guy distracted me.
Alright, back to me. And for my second title, I'm going to talk about one just been loving so much, I can't even explain it to you guys. Amazing Spider-Man number 11, which is part 3 of Spider-Verse. If you like any version of Spider-Man in the slightest, you should be reading this. Dan Slott and Olivier, Coipel, I think his name is how you pronounce his name, are treating the Spider characters in this series and in the Marvel Universe with so much respect and love. Like, there's just nothing to hate about it. Like, each of the Spider-Men or Spider-Women are, even if they don't get much screen time, their personalities come through so authentically. The series is just brilliant. The only downside, I would say, is that because it is a big event, they are relying heavily on like side books, Scarlet Spiders, which just came out, Spider-Man Team Up, Spider-Woman. These are all spanning the like side missions that are happening, and it really is worth it to read them so that you can get a full picture of what's going on, and so that you can get more time with these characters, because it's just such a cool concept that they're pulling from Spider-Man all across the multiverse. We've got Ultimate Spider-Man, like the comic version, and we've got Ultimate Spider-Man from the TV show. We've got Spider-Gwen, who's just introduced, UK Spider, like Punk Spider, like literally just this full spectrum, and it's magnificent. Glorious fun. I give it a 9 out of 10 because it's just beautiful, and you should read it. Those are my thoughts.
Alright, so for my second one, I'm going to be reviewing something that, when I first saw the preview for it, I'm like, I might just steer away from this. But then when it came out, I was like, yeah, I'm totally going to buy this. It is Bitch Planet. If you are uncomfortable with the word bitch, I apologize, but you're going to hear it a lot. The cover looks like it's going to be a 70s sexploitation film. If you don't know about that, it's during the 70s, maybe late 60s, into the early 80s. I know I kind of went 70s, 60s, 80s, but whatever. It's my choice. My mind, my body. Pretty much, during that era, there were blaxploitation films and sexploitation. Blaxploitation, obviously, exploitive to the African American community and like all of their ideals. A lot of that was one super cool dude fighting against the man. If you want to see a modern day movie that does it right and spoofs it perfectly, Black Dynamite, please go see that movie. It is amazing. There's also sexploitation, where it was a whole bunch of girls that are, you know, fighting against, again, the man, but it's in the most juvenile and like contrived way, and it's obviously written by a dude that is just like, I won't see naked ladies. So this doesn't really have that vibe to it so much. Like when there is nudity in it, which there is nudity in it, it's Bitch Planet, there's going to be some nudity. So the nudity in this is actually done very ironically. One of the character that's naked the most is this huge black girl. And she is enormous. Like, I think she's like 400 pounds of just like muscle and anger. It's kind of terrifying. But she seems like she's going to be a really fun character to have in the series. This seems like it's going to be a really fun series. It is very, like, sexploitative. But that's half the fun. It's kind of a throwback to, like, old B-70 movies. And that's really the reason I wanted to pick it up. On the back, they have a wonderful thing. It says, hey kids, patriarchy. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to mention. Every single man in this comic is a terrible person. Men are terrible, terrible people. Even the nice ones are terrible. And in this one, there are no nice people. I would give this one a 8 out of 10. I'd highly recommend this. As a white male, I can't really associate myself with the oppression of misogyny, as I am the antithesis of that. But this is a great book. I'm so looking forward to the rest of it. Bitch Planet. It's bitchin'.
This is Hueth. May I add something in real quick?
Cars!
Very quickly, for those of you who don't know, this is being written by Kelly Sue DeConnick, who is like the savior of feminist literature these days, more so even than Gail Simone, because she's currently writing Captain Marvel and the also fairly fantastic Pretty Deadly, which you should check out. And I just thought it was worth mentioning because that is kind of her thing.
Oh, yeah. It didn't seem like it was, like, ham-handed. It didn't seem like it was written by a man because it knew exactly what it was talking about.
Exactly.
It was kind of, for those of you who have seen Black Dynamite or haven't, where that one satired blaxploitation in a very satirical way. This one is the ironic, like, yeah, here's the actual issues, and we're, like, kind of, not overhyping it, but, like, we're kind of drilling it in just to say, like, it's funny that it's an issue, but it's not funny. And I liked it. Like I said, pick it up.
Pick it up.
Bitch. Batch! Those were our reviews.
You can see we're still just right in the swing of things.
Oh, yeah.
Even after all this time, we just... Yikes.
We nailed it!
Thank you.
Future's End. We should talk about the stuff that we've been building up. Yeah?
Did I read Future's End?
Yeah, apparently you didn't read Future's End.
Wait, let me see. I think I...
Alright, so while he looks through this one...
Mr. Hewitt,
we need to talk about the last two issues that we did not cover because this is the most important segment we did.
Oh, and I definitely read those.
Yeah.
I did,
So, that's 32, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, issue 30 was actually what I called it to be. It just wasn't as built up as I thought it would be. It was the invasion of Cadmus Island. And a whole bunch of stuff happened. It was kind of interesting. There's a fun issue. Everyone now knows about Cadmus Island. All the Earth 2 heroes are liberated, and they lost Barda. Barda's dead. And Power Girl is dead, but she was like a robot.
Oh man, that was kind of rough though.
Oh yeah, Oliver Queen, Green Arrow, has decided to stay dead, and his niece has one of the most terrifying faces on one of these panels. Yes, right here. She's like, ah! That's the sound I imagine her making. Lois goes public about the whole Cadmus Island thing. Firestorm is still being Firestormy. Everyone's at, what was his name? Ray or Roy?
Raymond?
Ronnie.
Oh, damn it.
And then Jason Rush.
Damn it!
2-4.
All right.
I always forget that.
Ben's helping us out. So. Honestly, I think 30 was better than 31. I'd safely say it gets at least a 7 out of 10. Maybe if you're pushing it, an 8 out of 10. Once he's done with 32, we can talk about that one, because this one I found to be not great, but I do have a surprising comment on this one. Oh, Brainiac Bear! How did I forget about Brainiac Bear? Brainiac Bear. I know we've had arguments about whether this is Brainiac or not. It's Brainiac. We've come... It's at least a sign on the Brainiac, but it's a Brainiac Bear! That's amazing! Oh! We're good to go!
I actually enjoyed reading this issue. Let's start off with the least exciting thing, which would be
The cover
Dr. Yam, a bad guy, has a suit.
has become a bad guy.
I mean, who saw it coming? Even worse, he's lost his body, but he can still control feel. It's like... It's so classic, it's bothersome.
It's one of the cliches that it became cliche, and now it's just become passe.
Yeah.
Like, it's just boring.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
stupid. It's overrated. It's just, come on, guys. You can, well, hopefully you can do better. The highlight I really want to talk about is more Terry and Plastique.
My God, that relationship
it's
is
awesome, isn't it?
amazing.
The works, all the stuff. He's never had a slice. Then the works ain't gonna do it. Hey, I'm the guy here.
Like, it's just... Again, like, what really stood out in this issue was seeing... like the smaller, like human interaction between characters. Terry and Plastique, Cole and Lana, like even 50 Sue seem to be more human. Like it finally feels like we're reading actual characters, and it's delightful. Like I could read a series, Batman Beyond and Plastique.
If you had to give this a number value, what would it be?
I don't know. I really did enjoy it. I'd give it an 8. Like it left me with like a good feeling.
I give it an 8 too. It was a good one. Well, I think that's all we have to say about all that. So, if you like this episode, please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we should read. I think we're going to be probably cutting down a little bit on episodes. We're going to be going through a little bit of, like, some changes. Once we know more, we'll let you know.
In other news, we've got some fun end-of-the-year stuff planned, and... Oh, we did just get a new follower, actually.
Woo!
Which is really super awesome. Thank you for following us.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoy our, like, comeback tour.
Alright, well, as always, remember who you are, what you are.
Don't go causing any trouble out there in that crazy world.
And remember, comic a day doesn't do anything about the doctor, but it'll be nice.
Keeps the mind stimulated.
I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not Future Zen, I guess it does. Ew. Go again!
Fans asked for them, so we're here. Woo! Fans are the best.
Some more Robots reunion tour. Woo! Are they even gone?